Can you actually tell us about Getting Away with Murders?
Yes, so all the time I have ideas. Every filmmaker's the same. You have constant ideas for projects. I come up with several every week, and I think about them and think about them, and a lot of them evaporate. You think, you've got to really want to make it to sustain you on all the years it's going to take. So those that I discard because they're just not a very good idea, or somebody's done anything similar. So then you're left with those that, yes, these. But most of those, I think, do I really want to spend a lot of time about it? Am I passionate about it? And the answer is no. So they fall by the wayside. And one of my ideas was, I couldn't understand why every now and again there would be Nazis prosecuted for committing crimes. Why weren't they all prosecuted at once? I naively thought. And so it was an idea that was there for a long, long time. And then I was distributing a film called Taking Sides, starring Harvey Keitel and Stellan Skarsgård, and directed by the Oscar winner Istvan Sabo. And none of them were available to promote the film. So I contacted the writer, who I didn't know, via his agent, Ronald Harwood, who would later become Sir Ronald Harwood. And he would win an Oscar that year for a film called The Pianist. And so he was very interested in the Holocaust. He wrote a lot about it and things. And we drove around the country promoting it. And I just said to him, look, I've got this idea. What do you think of it? And he said, it's terrific. You should work at it. And that gave me an enormous boost. You know, an Oscar winner thinks it's a really terrific idea. And for a long time, I was never going to direct it. I mean, I didn't become a director till I was 57. So, and that was 2013. So I was only ever going to produce it. And I couldn't find a director who was interested in it. And I couldn't find a broadcaster. I went to everybody. I went everywhere. Nobody was interested in it. From 2015, I then worked on it, you know, very solidly. So I found out the only person who made a similar film about why there was the lack of justice was Steven Spielberg's sister, who's a filmmaker. And she did something that was similar, but so different from mine. And it was very focused on just really one man. That I realized I was taking up the whole, you know, everyone. So once I found that nobody had done it, then I went hell for leather for it. So the premise of the story is very simple. 99% of those carried out the murders got away with it. Why? The Allies had set up the London Agreement in August 1945 to prosecute for crimes against humanity, for genocide. And they did it with the Nuremberg, the International Military Tribunal at Nuremberg. They only tried 24 people. After that, the British, the Soviets, and the French pulled out, leaving just the American military to have a further 12 successor trials. But then after that, there were trials, but not in, they were spasmodic. There were a lot of them, but they only prosecuted 7,000 people were prosecuted, men and women, out of almost 1 million who carried out the murders that were involved in it. That to me was a major story. The fact that nobody else was interested in it was staggering. And somehow I got the money together and made it. And luckily, all the critics were on my side. So I'm just at the beginning of the process. I mean, you know, it got very well reviewed and quite extensively. It got quite a lot of profile. I put it in for the BAFTAs. It didn't get nominated, but an awful lot of people in the industry have seen it. You know, David Baddiel did 3 tweets about it. So it's, you know, it's had a profile. It's out there. Films, you just, you've made it, and then it's like children, they're grown up and then they make their own way in the world. And that's what this will now do. It's you know, it's only just finished its cinema run, you know, the beginning of February 2022. So